Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go into the charts. So Bitcoin getting a little bit of a stall in consolidation as projected and predicted after we got that nuke at the tippy top on our indicators. So let's go see where it goes from here. We're in the golden pocket of this diagonal pitch fan. We've had pricing since January 13th and had this projection to the upside since the very bottom with the nuke the entire way. Streaming every day for this entire journey to the upside here. Since my birthday on February 25th, basically here, we were streaming every single day, catching the 618 bounce. All the liquidity up above, all the liquidity down below. Let's go see where the liquidity's at on High Block Capital. What is High Block, you say? Well, people lock their liquidity into the charts to get burnt to a crisp by the market maker for not using a stop loss, and all those people that trap their audience with their false hopes and dreams to 40K prematurely without any liquidity in being there yet. So let's see where it wants to go today. Currently on the 1 minute time frame, we have a $16 billion long imbalance to the downside on the 1 minute time frame. This is 7 days of data, so the draw is to the downside on this upside path that we took. Also, if you look above, you see this $111 million 50x pool of shorts just waiting in their trade, waiting to get drawn to. This is what the rounded bottoms look like, so possibly we come back into these shorts where they just say no to the shorts one more time, but you're also getting this pull to the downside by the longs as this tug of war continues on the liquidity. Which one is going to win the battle? And by win, I mean lose their trade by pulling the price action towards their liquidation point. You have $115 million at 33, 4, 5, 6. And this is the thicker band down below, so are we going to get that pull to the downside? It looks like it might be the case on the 1 minute time frame. Let's go ahead and expand our vision to the 7 day time frame, shall we? Shout out to everyone here on the live. Let's go see what's going on. Let me make sure this is live. Here we go. All right, who's joining us for today? We will be doing one more day of NASDAQ live futures, and then after that I will be taking it easier in the Discord for Momentum Master, as the live streams do not get pushed by the algorithm despite having gains like this consistently. But it is what it is. You don't get popular until you get popular. So, and then you funnel, then the newer streamers with their 600 live viewers just get more meat to their grinder of their fake system that doesn't really work. And if we go to this 7 day time frame, the draw is to the downside. We do have bands on both sides, but it does look like we could be drawn to the downside by this expansion to the external pools and the liquidation of all the liquidity coming back and drawing down at least a little bit into the vector candle. Even if you were going to bullishly continue, would make the most amount of sense, as people's stop losses for their longs are in profit up in these regions. They could come down to at least stop out the people that entered here on the 3 month as well, draw to the downside. 6 month as well, draw to the downside. There's just no liquidity up above. We went and swept everything. We swept the entire carpet out from under the shorts. So this entire carpet, even on the 2 year time frame, the only thing you got left is this band of 133 billion at 36.4 and percolating some billions up at 37.2, and so on and so forth. Getting another sweep of the longs would make sense. We did do that before when we consolidated up in the June region. We did a lot of wick-wacky consolidation from June 22nd all the way to basically July 14th. We did a month of wick-wackiness before we made that final draw down below. And so we could do very much the same thing. A month of wackiness, anyone? Are you in for this holding before they actually let it shift to the downside like they did back then? Because that could very well happen, because they're trying to draw more liquidity into the charts. You cannot go higher without money there to gravitate towards. So the projections of 40K when there's nothing there up at 40K just don't make sense. I remember when people were projecting 36K and beyond when there was not really much there to go to. They were doing it back here too in February. It's just like, you got to have the liquidity to justify the move, and as of this moment we just don't have it. So it goes possibly back to these range trade, which is why we had price trapped in a range, and why 20 minutes of analysis can keep you accurate for the day. So this impulse retrace of this move here to the upside had all of this math contained within of where we wanted to possibly go. And so if we go to the hourly time frame, what we were looking at on the momentum was a possible draw on the 15-minute back down, which happened. And then we were saying you look for that bearish retest at this region to possibly come to the bottom of the range and reclaim this wick. And it looks like it's just a little bit delayed, and I could just shift this over to the right. Let's go see if that's true on the indicator here. So let's go ahead and throw on our indicator, heads up display on. And what is this little bit of happiness? This is link in the description, momentummaster.info. For more, you can scroll down to features, toggle at your leisure, all of the components, and read about the trend cloud, baselines, stochastic array. These are the things we look at when we are looking at the fatigue potential of the momentum. So once you have the liquidity lined up and the math lined up, and then you can go to the momentum, the 3 pillars of trading. Patterns are not real. Don't believe any of those snake oil salesmen and all of their fake tea leaf reading assessments. Okay, so we were talking about the shift in the cloud here and possibly coming below it. It took us a little bit of time, but we did get that shift, so I can move this over like this, and possibly this draw will be moving over to here at the cloud. So do we get this push up into the cloud here, and what happens at the cloud? Is there some sort of draw happening at this region? We can kind of look at this zone as something we already looked at, how this possible range would be rejecting. We were looking at this on Tuesday even. We ascertained the range, and we got this hit up here. We said this is the 3rd hit. If we cannot make it above this point, expect a retrace. The cloud on the 15, just to reiterate what happened yesterday here on the cloud, we were insinuating back about here, really, right at this point on the live. We were insinuating this angle is going to come to the downside, and sure enough, that angle came down nicely. So the 15-minute cloud gave you that clue that it was going to curve in a manner here. Don't need any patterns, just the momentum of the trend cloud, which is volume weighted and showing this curvature, and it curved here up, curved here down. If we start to do this and shift it to the other side, we could see it basically stab up one more time if it finds this as support. Not thinning just yet, so this thickness could open up as we come down here, so I'm not sold on it. That's why I'm not going to keep that there, because you have that possible thing happening on the hourly. But we have to make our, and this angle will change now that we have more data, but this is basically creating a curvature like so, which insinuates a larger suppression of price. And then by the time it gets here, people will be seeing their shoulder, head and shoulder. But yeah, we will see it ahead of time because of the momentum. And we broke the hourly super trend, ladies and gents. This hourly super trend has held for the entire 12-day journey up from the rocket ship. Held here, held there, held here, and we broke the hourly super trend. So are we going to start to flip the script here on the liquidity down, drawing down to the depths below the wick here at 33,210. Let's see if there's something over there at 33,210. 33,210, 415, 33,210. So that would be basic reclamation of the wick idea down here. Basically 33,456 has the thickest band, but sweeping this entire range, I would say even 32,857. 32,857 essentially shifts 857. We're just going to move that down to there. So I would say that down in this candle here, there's more liquidity down in this region. Why am I getting these weird pings on here now? It's strange. So I would say that even coming down into that region is a thicker band of liquidity down in here, sweeping these longs that they've induced up here. If they continue lower, they would just eat into some of these longs after taking out some of the shorts at 34,448, 34,448, maybe sweeping up into that region, up in this cloud zone with the B wave thing looking here. This is Run for Profit Friday, October 27th. So are we going to get this draw up into this range? I'm watching for the rejection up in these regions. Okay, so let's go ahead and move this over here to most likely the 11 o'clock London close time. And yeah, that's basically it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the USDT dominance. So we got that little bit of a bounce on the people getting knocked out of their trade for USDT. Broke the bearish super trend, which was, by bearish on USDT dominance means they're investing money into trades, putting USDT in to trades, getting knocked back into USDT by stop losses getting hit. And then now we could be basically reclaiming this cloud here on the hourly for a rise, retrace, continuation idea. You have this level up here, basically a little bit of a gap here, and if you take this as a Fibonacci level, trend-based fibs, you can take a look here, and we have this impulse retrace idea getting up into that 1618 region perhaps. Okay, so we'll just delete that old projection. We do have a rocket ship that was locking in as we had the nuke on Bitcoin because they're inverse into trading, investing into trades as it fatigues on Bitcoin and then getting kicked out as they take profit. And if we look at the Bitcoin dominance, the dominance is dropping, nuke on the dominance as they let the alts breathe a little bit, and alts were going up. We came back down in a region here, so the alts are basically going kind of sideways. We were talking about Matic for somebody yesterday, so let's go look at Matic real quick. Was it Matic? Was it Matic? I'm not sure. We were looking at something yesterday. I think we were looking at Algo. Yeah, so we called for that pump to the upside. It got the pump and then dumped afterwards. So we got that. Didn't quite come all the way up as we expected, but it came up to a T here, 3%. So we got that for whoever asked on Algo. I don't remember the last one we were talking about, but it was the liquidity was insinuating. I think it was Matic, but I had a thing that I got probably interrupted from writing it midway because I had to go. But we were talking about, no, it was not Matic, it was what's the name of XRP. There we go. I think that was it. XRP. So we were talking about this possibly holding and getting the alt rally. Came up to that vector fair value gap breaker, whatever you want to call it, and then kind of dumped from there. We were talking about it dumping. It was not exact, but the idea of pump into dump, and now it's doing the thing back again. And this is where the angle shifts and undulates, but it's basically showing the thinning cloud, and you're beneath the cloud, so you could be bearishly retesting to go lower. You did hit the gap. So the alt's just still paralyzed, even after a large move on Bitcoin. People not really seeing the cycle for their alts begin just yet. Maybe it's just a little bit of a bounce. We'll see. Dixie getting a little bit of pump draw to that region we were talking about of the range high. Still hanging out lower here, but holding the super trend on this bounce off of the zone that we came to here. Sweeping those lows. And NQ making lower lows, possibly coming down into this draw below if it holds this 236 level, which it rejected off of again from yesterday. We were putting that 236 out to you, so you could have taken that for a ride. Cloud still thick, even if you draw up to this, which we broke off of. So Run for Profit Friday, October 27th. Where does it go? Where do we go from here? So let's go see it from now. So the cloud is shifting. We're beneath the cloud. We broke the super trend. Are we going to bearishly retest this or not? Liquidity to the upside. Once again, you have 111 million at 34.73. Larger band down below. Sweeping the range at 32.706-ish. Coming down into those vectors would make the most sense to me down in this region. We'll see. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, folks. Easy peasy. Let's see how it goes, and we'll catch you guys later for NQ Futures. So thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same, bringing the fire, the accuracy, the precision, all that